What is up everyone, how's it going? Simon here from CD Revival again, and today I'm going to finish off my B's from my CD collection. So a fair few to get in through today, and I've got a few left over from A as well, which a few I picked up. My brother gave me a bunch of CDs, so I've got a few of those which I've not even listened to yet. So I'll show those that are in the A section and the rest of my B's. So yeah, without further ado, we will start off with this one, which showed off in my glam video, but it's the Bullet Boys. 3 albums on this one. There's the original one, self-titled, and then Freak Show, and then Zaza. First 2 are really good. Zaza not so much, but yeah, comes in a nice thing like that. 3 discs, 3 albums, booklet as well, giving a bit of their history and stuff. So yeah, if you're not familiar with the Bullet Boys, they're like a sort of glam, not really too glam, but like a rocker, like late 80s, early 90s. I say first 2 albums, superb, well worth having. Third one, yeah, you can give that one a miss, but yeah, that's the Warner albums, 1988 to 1993 by the Bullet Boys. I've got a couple from Bullet for my Valentine. I've got their first album, which I got from my brother, which I've not really checked out too much. That's that one there. So thanks for that, Rob. I've got the Poison, which is a famous one of theirs. And that's that one there. And I've also got Scream Aim Fire, which is probably my favourite one of theirs. Really good album, that one. Title track on that is excellent. A few other decent ones as well. Eye of the Storm, obviously. Hearts Burst into Fire, really good one as well. Disappear's good. So yeah, like that one. Really good album, that one. I've got a couple from Black Country Communion. I've got their first one, which is just called Communion. Glenn Hughes on vocals. I think it's Joe Bonamassa on guitar, and Jason Bonham on drums as well. So yeah, that's their first album. Good sort of old school rock. And I've got Afterglow as well, which I only picked up recently, not really checked that one out too much. That's a CD/DVD package as well. Not sure how that works, but you know, whatever. So that's that one. Good stuff from Black Country Communion. I've got a few Bjork CDs as well. Might not be everyone's cup of tea, but yeah, really like her stuff. I don't really go out of my way to look for it, but if I see it in like a car boot or a charity shop or something like that, and it's one that I haven't got, I'll always pick that up. So I've got a debut album. Yeah, I think she's interesting. I think she does some good stuff. It's all, you know, every album's different and yeah, quite varied. So you either like her or don't. This one's got Human Behaviour on it. Venus is a Boy. So good stuff on that one. I've got the second album, which is Post. That one there. That one's got Army of Me on it. Hyper Ballad. So Quiet. Yeah, good album as well. And I've got this one as well, which is, I think, Vespertine. Yeah, Vespertine, this one. Case is a bit knackered as they become. Slightly different, this one as well. It's a bit more minimalist, this one. So that's a good one. It's also quite single, CD single. So, you know, if I see them for cheap, then I'll definitely pick them up, because I think they're worth having. A couple that I picked up from Robbie, my brother. This one's Born from Pain. Really not too sure what that's all about. It's 2 CD. So let me know if you think that one's worth checking out. Bonus DVD on that one. In Love with the End. And this one, Biomechanical, once again, not too sure what that one's all about either. That's that there. So thank you for those two. 2003 that one came out. I've got the CD single of Born Dead by Body Count, the only thing I've got by them. I would get their first album, but I'd want the version with Cop Killer on it, and that's super expensive, so obviously out of print. Puzzle by Biffy Clyro, don't mind them at all. Not my favourite band, but once again, if you see it cheap, it's always worth picking up, I think. Where's that one there? It's from 2007. This original soundtrack from the Blues Brothers, classic film, classic soundtrack. That one there. All the songs from the soundtrack on there, including Peter Gunn theme and theme from Rawhide also. I've got Billy Talent, their first album, punky, you know, that kind of thing. Not too bad, pretty good album, catchy. I've got the soundtrack from Beavis and Butthead Do America. Don't know if you remember Beavis and Butthead, they've just made a bit of a resurgence, got a new movie out and I think a new series as well. It's got Love Roller Coaster from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, LL Cool J's on here, White Zombie as well, Ozzy does a track, Walk on Water, which is not on any album, Butthole Surfers, Gone Shooting by AC/DC. So yeah, not a bad soundtrack, worth having. I say, if you find it cheap, pick it up. Got BDI, their first album. Not a bad album at all, not as good as Oasis, obviously Liam Gallagher's band. Different gear, still speeding. But yeah, not too bad at all, quite like that one. 4-letter word I think was the single on it. So not bad. Bloodhound Gang, Hooray for Boobies. Got the Bad Touch on it, Ballad of Chasey Lane, probably the most famous tracks on there. Kind of a comedy band, but yeah, you know, a laugh to listen to. Blink 182, Enema of State, classic album by them, early 2000s I think that was, you probably know it. Yeah, not too sure. What's My Age Again, All the Small Things, all the sort of, you know, hits I suppose on there. So, you know, yeah. Then I've got some Bon Jovi stuff. Not their greatest fan, but I think they're alright. 7800 Fahrenheit, second album. That's got In and Out of Love on it, which is a good track. Quite honestly, the album's not even that great. It's okay. They did improve. Notably with this one, which is a classic, Slippery When Wet. Really good album, this one. You can listen to this start to finish, and you know it is enjoyable, definitely. Let It Rock's a great start. You Give Love a Bad Name, obviously. Living on a Prayer, Social Disease, Wanted Dead or Alive. It's, you know, Wild in the Streets, I'd Die for You. They're all, you know, they're all bangers on there. It's worth a listen. New Jersey, the album that followed that. They did go a little bit different on this one. Still got some good tracks on it. Bad Medicine, Lay Your Hands on Me is obviously good. Born to Be My Baby goes on a little bit, this one, but still, you know, it's got some good stuff on it. 99 in the Shade's a good one, really good. Want a bit more cowboy-y on that one. Keep the Faith. So not their biggest fan, but you do find them cheap nowadays, so you know, you just sort of think that, yeah, why not. Bed of Roses, Keep the Faith, Sleep When I'm Dead, you know, it's got some good tracks on that one. These Days I've got as well. That one there. And I've Crush as well, which is one of their later ones, I think. The later ones I've not really listened to too much. You just kind of buy them and then chuck them on the shelf, you know, get round to it one day. It's My Life's on that one. And I've also got the Jon Bon Jovi Young Guns 2 soundtrack, which is pretty cool. Did have this on tape when it came out back in the day. It's kind of broke, but anyway, you get the point. So yeah, Billy Get Your Guns, Blaze of Glory. It's an alright album, 50-50 good and shit tracks on that one, I would say. So that's the remainder of my Bs, apart from the Black Label Society, which I'm still waiting for Stronger Than Death, and that will complete the discography for me. So should have that in the next couple of days. So I will do their ranking, which I'm still like not sure how that's going to go down. So I'm not sure which is my favourite and I know which is my least favourite. You'll have to wait and see on that one. A few more from Robin in the A's that I've missed and like got afterwards. So the Avenged Sevenfold, Waking the Fallen. I think that's their second album. Could be wrong. So he gave me that one. So thanks for that. As I Lay Dying, I've got a couple by them. Once again, not listened to those yet, but got a little bit of a backlog going on. It seems to be a 2-disc edition. So thank you for that. Another one by them. This one is called Frail Worlds Collapse. Words, not worlds. Nice disc on that one. Enjoy that. And another album by The Almighty, which I didn't have. Looks a bit different to their early power tripping kind of stuff. Just calling himself Almighty now, not The Almighty. And a couple by a version as well, which I think is a sort of thrashy kind of thing. So there's that one, Fit to Be Tied. And Fall From Grace. So I've not checked either of those two out, but thanks Rob for all of those, that's much appreciated. And a couple that I've got this one last week, Arcade, which is Stephen Pearcy's band that he did after Rat. Quite similar to Rat, not quite as good, but still, you know, worth a listen. Dance with the Angels, None to Lose, Calm Before the Storm. They're all good tracks, to be honest. So yeah, worth a go. I don't think who the band members are on this actually. I think it's one of the guys from Cinderella or something. Yeah, Cinderella drummer Freddie Corey, Seag's guitarist Frankie Wilsex, bassist Michael Andrews, and yeah, guitarist Donnie Syracuse. So yeah, but it's Stephen Pearcy's band really. But yeah, good album from Arcade. Quite rare to get nowadays. And a couple of others which I completely forgot, but I did have a couple from Airborne actually. So I've got Black Dog Barking, which I think is their best album. It's the special edition. That's the 2-disc version. An extra disc of yeah, Live at Wacken. So, but yeah, great stuff on here. Ready to Rock, No One Fits Me Better Than You, great track. Back in the Game's my favourite track of theirs. Live It Up's really good. But yeah, good album. If you like AC/DC and you want something that's not AC/DC but that's like AC/DC, then Airborne, Australian band, 81s, and Bone Shaker as well, I've got by them. Don't like that quite as much, but I've not listened to it as much either as well. So yeah, Bone Shaker, Burn Out the Nitro, Backseat Boogie, it's good stuff on there as well. But so yeah, worth checking out. So that is all my Bs. The remainder of my A's which I've missed out. So yeah, we'll either be into C next, which I've got a fair few bits to do, sort of Alice Cooper, and what else have I got? Carcass, The Cult, and a few other bits and pieces, Corrosion of Conformity. But yeah, so fair bit of that, and more rankings, and maybe another top 10. I've got a few ideas for those as well. So sorry if this has been boring for you, but I hope you've enjoyed it anyway. So like and subscribe, and hope to see you next time. Have a great day. Take it steady. Cheers.